Hello, welcome to today's video. Today we will be going over how to smartly spend your money in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I have been playing this game since just about the time it launched, so around the full 5 years that it's been out at this point, and over that time I have spent a good couple $1,000s on the game. And I decided that I would take my experience and my mistakes and the research that I've done recently into understanding how to buy things in the game and what it all costs, and I would bring that to you guys so you know and can understand more fully the actual cost and the in-game cost of what your transactions are going to get you. Undoubtedly, this video is going to run long, so I will put timestamps to the relevant breaks down in the description down below, so you can skip to just the sections that you think are relevant to you if you don't feel like sitting through the entirety of this. I always try to make my videos as informative as possible, so I know that, anything past 15 minutes or so on YouTube kind of just tanks in regards to ratings and viewership, but I would much rather have longer videos with all the information in one place for you than uploading, 2, 3, 4, 5 different videos all about the same subject or slightly related enough subjects. So before we continue, I just want to put out a quick disclaimer. So all of the math and the numbers that I show you guys for what I did to do the research for this video is all going to be based off of my local, state, county, country taxes and laws for mobile game purchases. So the numbers might not be exact, especially if you're in a country outside of the US or if you're in another part of the US. So keep that in mind. You might have a little bit of variation between what your cost breakdown is going to be versus what I'm showing you on the video. But I just want to put that out there so that you're not like, J-Man's lying to me, I'm spending more money, or he's wrong, he's spending more money. I just wanted to throw that out there as a general disclaimer before we continue. We're going to start out our discussion by focusing on crystals. Crystals are this game's premium currency. They're what you can trade your real-world money for in order to have in-game currency. I started out my evaluation of smart spending by looking at the cost of a crystal. And I don't mean how much does it cost to buy crystals. I mean, what does one individual crystal actually cost? And in order to figure that out, I first had to look at buying crystals. So we'll look at buying crystals in order to set us up for understanding what does one crystal cost. So we're going to pretend we're going to buy some crystals. And I was trying to get the unit rate, so I went with my smallest amount possible, trying to get as close to a 1-to-1 ratio as possible. So I went to the bag of crystals options, and it's $4.99. They're charging you $4.99 for 610 crystals. Now, you're not actually going to spend $4.99 on your crystals. You have your little eye in a circle here with your plus text. This is going to show you how much you will actually be paying for it. Don't be like me the first couple of times where when you made your transaction it was more than $4.99 and I was like confused as to why this was happening because I forgot to calculate the tax involved, and they'll show it to you, but of course they're going to hide it from you because they want as much money from you as possible. So you're actually going to pay $5.34 for your 610 crystals. And that number, 534, is the number that I used to calculate the cost of one crystal, because this is how much I'm actually paying, not $4.99, $5.34. So to calculate the unit rate for a crystal, to figure out what would one cost, I took $5.34, divided it by 610, and ended up with the answer $0.00875. Now you can use that for a formula that I've drafted up on a Google sheet for you guys, and I will share I will have a link that you guys can view this sheet because I'm going to be referencing it a couple of times. So here's our amount. To figure out how much it's going to cost you for your crystal amount, you take the crystal amount times 0.00875, and that is your price in dollars. So one crystal worth $0.00875, or if you put it into cents, it's one crystal is 0.875 cents. Now this list that I've got broken down here, this is an extensive but not an all-inclusive breakdown of the crystal costs in the game. It's pretty close. I went through the first two stores, the daily, the weekly store, and I listed out I found every number and ran through this formula for you guys. I also threw in a couple of the ones for refresh, like $9.99 to refresh certain events. So, and this just follows that formula up here. So here you go. Here's what it costs. If you're buying something that's worth 80 crystals, you're paying 70 cents for it. If you're going to go out and go out and whale, your 2100 is going to cost you $18.38. That's the equivalent in dollars that you're spending. So when you're thinking, man, do I really want to spend 650 crystals on this one item? Well, think to yourself, well, that's the same as spending $5.69. And then that puts it into perspective for you. Do you really want to pay $5.69 for this? So now that we understand the cost of a crystal and how it's reflected in the in-game, we can look at buying crystals and seeing if indeed the one that they call the most popular is indeed the best value. So if we look at our crystal amount and use our formula that we just established, so if we're buying 610 crystals, that is worth $5.34. And our after-tax price, what we'll actually be paying, we're going to pay $5.34 for that. So we net no savings, so we're just paying at cost. So the 2800, this is the one that they claim is the most popular. So if we were going to buy 2800 crystals, that's $24.50 worth of crystals. Now we're going to pay $21.39 for it. So we're going to save $3.11. It's pretty good. And your last two, this is where you're of course going to see your most savings. If you're going to buy the $99.99 pack for 15,710 crystals, the cost of the crystals is actually what you'll be getting is $137.46, and you're paying $106.99 for it, so you're saving about $30.50. So of course that's where you're going to get the most savings. So if what you're interested in is your savings, then yeah, buying the most expensive one is going to be the one that you want to do. But the closest for feasibility is going to be, the 2800 for $21.39. Anything above that, buying the $50, $100 packs, that's when I'm hesitant to spend money, because that's a big amount of money. You can do other things in your life with that. So it's no wonder that the $2,800 or the 2800 crystal pack is the most popular, because you do have a decent amount of savings on it. So now that we understand the cost of a crystal, we can now understand in game if what we're being offered is a good deal or not. So we're going to take a look at a shipment store right here. We're going to look at these two offers between Mon Mothma and Bastila. Now right away we just know that the Bastila deal is better because we're getting twice as much for the same cost. But do you understand the math behind it? How much does one character shard cost between each of these characters? So to figure that out, we take the crystal amount, we divide that by the shard amount, And I did this across several different offers, across several different days, in order to get this math. And in this one between here, the 1280 divided by 16 will get us 80 crystals. And if we compare 80 crystals to the table that I showed just a couple seconds ago, 80 crystals is worth 70 cents. So for Mon Mothma here, one character shard is worth 80 crystals, or one character shard is worth 70 cents. For Bastila over here, if we run the numbers, one of her character shards is actually worth 40 crystals. So we're still getting, twice as much, but it's at a cheaper rate. So whenever you come across a deal where you can get a character shard for less than 80 crystals, that's a good deal. Because of all the math that I did, 80 crystals per shard was the common answer. It's only in these weird outliers where they are giving you more for the same for some reason that it drops down to below 80. So again, any offer where you can get a character shard for less than 80 crystals is going to be a good deal. So now that we've covered crystals and we understand how to use them, what they cost, and how much character shards are, and we can now identify good deals, now we can move on to talking about packs and character packs and seeing what is and isn't a good deal with them. So I'm not going to break down every single pack that there is in the game, or else this video would never end, and I have other things I want to do with my life. And I'm not even going to go over like all the gear packs, because that stuff requires a level of understanding about the game that I don't quite have. I'm not that in depth with my knowledge for it. Now, Arnold has gone through gear packs before on his channel, so I'd recommend checking out his channel for all his videos about, what gear pack offers, or what gear offers, and what energy offers are all worth getting in. I would recommend checking out his channel for those, since he's done those and he's done them better than I ever could. However, I can help you understand the character packs and whether or not buying them, whether it's to whale on character release or to prep for a Journey's Guide event. I can help you figure out which one of those you should investigate. And those are the ones that we're going to cover. We're going to cover character packs for the marquee events and our Journey Guide data cards, as well as the Galactic Legend shard packs, and then we will look at chromium cards. So we're going to start out with the character packs that you can get for the marquee events to whale on a character to get them to 7 stars on release. And we're going to look at how you can figure out if a character is worth whaling on or not, financially speaking. So we're going to go to the store, and we have 2 marquee characters currently that are available. Yep, just the 2. So we have Dark Trooper and Bo-Katan, and they're the same offer, $12.99, $12.99, and for each one you get the option for 5 to 330 for their crystal count, or for the shard drops that they could get. Now these 2 offers, Bo-Katan and Dark Trooper, are horrendous. I do not bother with them. And I know that because of this pack probabilities thing up here. So this link, if you click it, it'll open a browser out of game, and BlueStacks doesn't like it, so I've got it pulled up behind. So if you click that link, it will pull up this document for you, pack probabilities. And this explains the drop rate for every pack that there is. And not just these marquee packs, but all of them. Ship marquees, ship ability materials, capital ship packs, faction packs, everything. Every drop rate is disclosed in this document. And for our marquee packs, there are 3 different versions of a marquee pack that can be released. So this is the one that we were just looking at for Bo-Katan and Dark Trooper, the 5 shard variant. That first number you see listed for the shard range, so the 5 to 330, that's going to be the basis for which table you need to check out. So we're on the 5 shard variant. If it was 10, you'd look at the 10 shard variant, or if it was 15, you look at the mega pack. So if we look at the table for them, for Bo-Katan and Dark Trooper, 69, almost 70% chance of only getting 7 shards per drop. And that's a sizable number. Look at this. There's not really a lot of wiggle room that you have left to distribute across all your other options. Your next highest bet is to get 17.44% of 5. So that's over an 85% chance to get pretty low drops. On a 5 shard variant, you're really not ever going to get anything above that. Heck, if you get a 10 or a 12 drop, you're incredibly lucky. You know, look at this. A full drop is 0.1%. 230 is 0.02%. A 5 shard marquee pack is awful. Don't ever spend your money on one of these. You will pay through the nose for them. And I'll explain the exact crystal and money costs in a bit. But these are horrendous. Your odds are utter garbage if you're hoping to 7-star a character unreleased with this. Now, your 10 shard variant is a bit better, because the minimum progress you can make is already twice the minimum progress you could make on the 5 shard variant, and you have a 55% chance to make twice the progress you could on the 5 shard variant. So, and then in total you have an 85%. So you're going to be spending less money on this one, but it's still not completely ideal. You know, if you were dead set, you really wanted to, then yeah, a 10 shard variant release, go for it. The one that I pretty much only wail on is the mega pack. It's the 15 shard variant. It won't be called that, it'll be called the mega pack. So look for a marquee mega pack. And just look at how much better these odds are. You get a 60% chance to get 17 shards. That would be about right up here between 15 and 20. In a 5 shard pack, you would have so little chance to get anywhere near there. And even for the 10 shard variant, you know, you have such a small chance, but you get 17 shards, you know, with more than 50% of the time. This is just such the better offer. Now, I don't believe we've seen one of these since they released Arc Trooper. And probably for good reason. They're so good. I mean, I just cannot emphasize enough how much you want a mega pack over any of the other 2 packs. So again, don't ever do the 5 shard variant. The 10 shard variant's a bit more acceptable. You'll spend less money, but if you want to whale, pray for the character to be in a mega pack, because that is going to be where you get the best bang for your buck. So now, how much is each one of these pulls going to cost you? So since we only have the 5 shard variant to work with, we'll go back and take a look at the numbers for them. So if we were to look at, if we wanted to spend 1,299 crystals to get 1 drop chance for Bo-Katan here, that would get us, if we run it through our formula of crystal amount, so 1299 times 0.00875, we would get $11.37. So 1 pull for Bo-Katan is costing you $11.37. That's you know, a thing. You are spending that much money on Bo-Katan for one pull. Do you really feel like getting 5 or 7 shards for $11.37 is a good deal? I mean, no, it's not. It's just not. Um, so make sure you run that math before you decide to whale on a character. The crystal cost for the 10 shard variant is going to be higher, and then the crystal cost for the mega pack is going to be even higher. But trade off, you get better drop rates. In theory, you're also going to be spending less money. Now, I don't have the crystal cost for all of the characters that I whaled on because I didn't realize at the time that I would be making this video. But I do have how much money I actually spent on them. And I know for a fact that Scion and I think B1 were both 5 shard variants. So when I whaled on Scion, it cost me $310. When I whaled on B1, it cost me around $400. When I whaled on Arc Trooper, it was also around $400. But when I whaled on the Armor, it only cost me $226. And Armor was a 10 shard variant, so I got pretty lucky. I got a couple of good pulls for my Armor that really sped up my process. Now, Arc, I got a little unlucky, so I ended up spending about the same amount as I did for B1, which was of the lower variant. And that's also part of it you've got to keep in mind is, yeah, you could be going for the better deal, but it still is a chance. Each one is one pull, so it is possible to get pretty trash pulls even on a good deal. So there is an element of chance to it still, so keep that in mind. You know, I would say, you know, have a good couple $100 ready if you're going to try and 7-star a character, even on a mega pack, because of the element of chance that is in there. So now that I've shown off the visual of the pack probability table, I'm not gonna reference it for pulling it up every time for all these other packs we're gonna look at. You know how to find it now, so you can go ahead and reference it. In order to speed up the rest of the video, I'll just put up this information on the screen as needed. So if we wanted to buy a Journey Guide data card, then in dollar form, you're going to be spending $3.06 at one chance for one 5 to 50 shard drop from one of 5 characters. Now that's a lot of qualifiers all strung together there. One chance of 5 to 50 from one of 5 characters. That's going to be the risk train that you would get involved in if you want to farm a Journey Guide data card. If you want to go for the Mega Pack, the crystal dollar equivalent is going to be $21.44 for 8 chances of the same 5 to 50 drop from 1 to 5 characters. If you're going to do a faction pack, then that's going to be $6.12 in crystals per pull, and a faction mega pack is going to be $24.50. Now you do get a quote free card in those pulls, but they're limited in what they can give you. They're not as full as the other ones, so it's not really worth taking into consideration in my opinion. So again, $6.12 for a faction pack, $24.50 for the mega pack. And again, you're pulling out of all of the options in there, so it's not a set thing. And then if you were going to do a Galactic Legends shard pack, it's $21.87 per pull, you know, per chance of all the options that you have in there. So whaling via packs like that is going to be risky, especially the closer you get to being ready for the event or to your target goal. Like, if you only need 1 or 2 characters left, it's going to be a smarter route to just farm them with crystals and just refresh their nodes all the time, because you don't want to be wasting money getting character shards for characters that you're already done with. And if you're going to do chromium cards, then your breakdown is going to be like this. For a single chromium card, you're going to pay $3.06 per card. For a chromium data pack, it's going to be $11.64. And then if you're going to do a chromium mega pack, it's going to be $22.05. So keep all that in mind if you're one of those people who likes to farm chromium packs. Just keep in mind what your, money cost is going to be of your crystal pulls when you are trying to decide, do you or do you not want to do that. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for stopping by. Please take this knowledge and use it to spend smarter in the future. This is the first video I've done where I had background music that wasn't just game sounds. So please let me know how that is. Did I do it well? What do I need to change about it? Anything like that. So thank you guys for stopping by, and I hope that you guys can learn and do better than I did when it comes to spending money in this game. Thank you.